Hey Jenny, ready for another deep dive? I stumbled across something fascinating. De La Rue PLC's latest Form 8.5 filing. It's a treasure trove of info.
Oh, Form 8.5? Remind me, Mark. Is that the one dealing with, major share transactions?
Spot on. Specifically, it's for exempt principal traders connected to an offerer or offeree company. In this case, it involves De La Rue and, get this, Investec Bank is in the mix.
Investec. Okay, now you've got my attention. So, what kind of numbers are we talking about? Anything that jumps out?
Well, we're seeing purchases of De La Rue ordinary shares. Over 127,000 of them, with prices hovering around 119 pence, and sales too, slightly more, creating a net change.
So they bought a bunch and sold even more. Why would they do that? Is there some kind of takeover happening?
That's what Form 8.5 helps clarify. It's all about transparency under the UK's Takeover Code. These filings ensure everyone knows what major players are up to during, potential mergers or acquisitions.
Right, so it prevents any sneaky insider trading, making sure everyone's playing fair. But what exactly does exempt principal trader mean? Sounds a bit cloak and dagger.
It's less cloak and dagger, more efficient trading, actually. These are usually big banks or brokers who can trade on their own account, and times for clients, but with specific disclosure rules, like this, Form 8.5.
So Investec, being a joint broker for De La Rue, falls into that category. They're facilitating trades, but also have to show their hand, so to speak.
Exactly. And it's not just about the shares themselves. The form also covers derivatives and any, cash-settled transactions. But in this case, it's all clean, just straightforward share dealings.
So no complicated financial instruments, just buying and selling shares. That actually makes it easier to understand. For us mere mortals, anyway.
Precisely. It is also interesting to consider the trade velocity. It looks like they've ramped up their activity compared to, say, the previous month.
Increased trade velocity. Does that suggest they're building up a position, or maybe getting ready to offload a chunk of shares?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This filing gives us a snapshot, but the times why times behind it. Pooh! That requires a bit more digging. Could be strategic positioning, could be responding to market movements.
It's like a puzzle, and Form 8.5 is just one piece. We see the times what, but we need more context to understand the times why. So how does this compare to, other countries' regulations?
That's a great point. The UK's Takeover Code is pretty stringent. Other jurisdictions have different rules, different forms. It's not always apples to apples.
So this level of transparency isn't necessarily the global standard. And I'm guessing this whole process, it's ripe for some technological disruption, right? Is it all still paper forms?
Oh, you know it. There's a huge push for digitization, AI, machine learning. They could automate a lot of this, make it faster, more accurate, even flag potential issues proactively.
That makes sense. Less paperwork, more insight. So looking ahead, do you think we'll see more of these filings, or maybe even a shift in how they're handled?
I think we'll definitely see more digital times filings. And as for De La Rue, well, this Form 8.5 is just a starting point. It tells us something's happening, and it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds.
Agreed. It is a bit like reading the first chapter of a financial thriller. We are left with the question, what happens next?